What fool thing is Johnny doing now? Well, here we go. Lee Hacklin, private investigator, in Comic Striptease, Chapter 7. Welcome to Graham's studio. He called it his fortress of solitude. I whistled and said, "Holy moly, this looks like a museum for comic strips." There was a drawing board, a T-square, plenty of paper, pencils, erasers, a bottle of India ink, a pencil sharpener, and the walls were invisible under hundreds of framed newspaper comic strips. Not just Frank Flair. There was his antecedent, Flash Gordon, the Phantom, Mandrake, Popeye, Tarzan. I felt giddy. It didn't last long. The man who worked here, a creator, a manifester, was dead, and the one who was responsible wasn't. This was why men like me existed. This was my purpose. Gwen touched my shoulder and closed the door. When you're looking for something and you don't even know exactly what it is that you're looking for, it's best to visualize in advance the location of wherever it might be will be the last place you look before giving up, if you're lucky. Did that make sense? In this case, pun intended, it was the bottom drawer of Graham's desk. When I pulled it open, a Polaroid photo fell to the floor. Shazam! Maybe. I picked it up. Graham and Gwen, in their mid-20s, were holding hands, and they were wearing matching NYU sweatshirts. Next to them was a tall, handsome, and muscular man, similarly aged, clad in a Jack LaLanne-esque jumpsuit. I took the photo downstairs, careful to hide it from Frank, who was watching the Frank Flair Saturday morning cartoon series from the 1960s on his VCR. He beamed when he saw me. "This is my favorite episode, Lee. This is the one where Frank and Sindar get into a sword fight. Frank chops off Sindar's head." Not safe for work. Gwen fretted. "Frank? There's no blood, Mom. It wasn't really Sindar. It was one of his robot guards. If I rewind it, will you watch it with me, Lee?" "Sure, if your mom says it's okay. Then I'll give you your boxing lesson. Gwen, may I please speak with you in the kitchen?" We entered and I showed her the photo. Her face paled and she whispered, "Oh my God, that's Pete Stillwater. I haven't thought about him since our NYU years. He and Graham grew up together. Pete was a terrible bully, but they became friends at university. We dated for around a week. All he ever wanted to talk about was himself. I can't stand a narcissist." He dropped out and we never heard from him again. That must have been some week, I thought, but didn't say. Because dollars to donuts, Pete was Frank's biological father. Gwen gasped as though she was reading my mind. "Oh no, Pete, did you kill my Gray? How could you do that?" "We don't know yet, but he's a contender. Do you have a white pages, Gwen?" "Sure." There was one listing. Brooklyn. Maybe an hour's drive. I handed Gwen the photo. "I'm burning this. I don't want Frank to ever know. Oh, who am I kidding? It'll come out during the trial. If he's guilty, Gwen, there won't be a trial." Thanks for watching, and have a great Tuesday. And don't forget, God loves you. Cheers.